Good morning and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Happy Tuesday, everyone. We are back with another massive show to bring you guys this morning. But before we jump into that, please do make sure to smash a like on the video. Let's try and see 300 likes on today's video. And please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 21,000 subscribers. We're very, very close now. So please do subscribe if this is your first time watching. On the show today, we're going to be talking about a potential loan deal for Timo Werner. Of course, we will be giving our reaction to that, and I will, as always, be getting your reaction. We will also be reacting to a story that broke last night, saying that apparently Manchester United are looking at Carlo Ancelotti as the next Manchester United manager. Now, lots and lots of other bits to get into. Please do get involved in the comment section, everybody. Please do get involved in the live chat. Let me know your thoughts on everything we discuss on today's show. We've got so much to get into. We've also got a new centre-back to talk about, which I'm very, very excited about. So get involved in the comment section, get involved in the live chat, and let's jump straight on into it. Let's start the story off with the centre-back one, because I'll tell you what, right? When I saw this story break last night, I was very, very excited. So it's coming from Plettigol, who is, of course, a very, very reliable German journalist. He reports for Sky Sports. Florian Plettenberg is his name on Twitter. And he is reporting the following. He says, Benfica centre-back Antonio Silva is the top target for Manchester United in the summer. United has already had contact on the contract details and the plans of the top talent. He has 100 million euros release clause next year. Benfica expect him to leave next summer. Now, anybody who's unaware of Antonio Silva, go and watch a couple of videos on him. If you have the time, go and watch some Benfica matches. I'm telling you now, this guy is going to be one of the best centre-backs in world football in the next couple of years. He's only just turned 20 in the last couple of days, right? He has literally played every single game for Benfica for the last couple of seasons. He's an unbelievable centre-back. He really, really is. So if we were to get this guy, I'm telling you, he'd be the centre-back for the next 10 years. Last year, at the age of 19, he played 46 games for Benfica, 46, including 10 games in the Champions League at the age of 19. He's already in the Portuguese national team as well. Like, that's crazy for a 19-year-old to be doing that. Just let that sink in for a minute, you know? You've got people like Jude Bellingham, who are obviously unbelievable, but, you know, I would compare these two on a kind of comparable level. I think Jude Bellingham will be the best midfielder probably in the next couple of years, and will be for the next kind of 7-8 years. I genuinely think he will be. And I think that Antonio Silva is in that same category. Obviously, he's a different position, but by way of like world-class players of the next generation, I'm telling you that this Antonio Silva guy is that player. 100 million euros, obviously that sounds like a hell of a lot of money, but in today's market, I don't think it is really. It's 85 million pounds. When you think that Man City paid about that for Gvardiol, didn't they? And I honestly believe that Gvardiol isn't as good as Antonio Silva. He's a little bit older. Man City paid 90 million for Gvardiol. I honestly think that 100 million would be a fair price for him. I really, really do. I know it's a hell of a lot of money. I know people will be saying, oh, we'll be making the same mistakes that we have before. I don't think so personally. I think, you know, for somebody to be playing this much at that high level at that young age and be putting up such good performances, I don't think that's a coincidence. The other thing which is strange as well is he actually gets some goals, obviously from headers, from corners and stuff. So that's something that we've been massively lacking. Anybody who's been watching the show over the last kind of 6 or 7 months knows how excited I am about this player. I would absolutely love it if we got Antonio Silva. But I want you guys to let me know in the comment section. Have you seen Antonio Silva play before? Is there somebody else you want instead? My dream scenario would be this, right? My dream scenario would be that we get Jean-Claire Todibo in January for like £30 million kind of thing, tops. And then in the summer, you get rid of Maguire, you get rid of Varane. Obviously, Johnny Evans' contract expires. You get rid of those three, and then you bring in Antonio Silva. So our kind of centre-backs for the next 5 to 10 years would be Martinez, Antonio Silva, and Jean-Claire Todibo. Lindelof, I'm not really sure what will happen with him. Maybe you keep him as the fourth option. I wouldn't have a massive issue with that. But yeah, that would be my ideal scenario. Maguire goes, Varane goes, Johnny Evans goes. You use all of that money that you've saved in the wages to go and then buy Antonio Silva. And then you have Antonio Silva, Martinez, Lindelof, and Jean-Claire Todibo. That's what I would say. That would be my preferred option. But let me know in the comment section, guys. What would you do? What centre-backs do you think we should be looking at? What centre-backs do you think we should be selling in the summer? Now, maybe it seems a little bit rich me saying this after keeping 3 clean sheets in a row in the Premier League. Maguire's in form, I would say. And you know what? In some ways, I would flip this on its head. Maguire's in form, so we should cash in on him whilst he's in form. Obviously, we've got the Euros next year as well. So I think that clubs will come in for Harry Maguire. Maybe not in January, but in the summer. I think you could get maybe 30 million, 35 million from West Ham or someone like that. So, if you got 35 for him, maybe you get... obviously, you let Johnny Evans go. Varane, I would imagine you'd get about 25 to 30 probably from Saudi. I mean, already that's 65 million pounds just for those 2 players. If this guy's going to cost us 85, that's a very good investment, in my opinion, for a 20-year-old who's already playing at the highest level. So for me, 100% we need to go and look and get this guy. And as I said, Florian Plettenberg has confirmed that he is the number 1 target for Manchester United and that his release clause of 100 million will be available next summer. But let me know in the comment section, guys, what would you do? Let's see what people are saying this morning. Liam says we need another left-footed centre-back. Yeah. Fair enough. Fred says, surely if he's that good, he'd be on other clubs' radars. Mate, this guy is on every club's radar. I'm telling you that for a fact. He is the real deal. It's not just Manchester United that are interested in Antonio Silva. There'll be a long list of world-class, top-level clubs that want this guy. Just go and watch some games of him and come back and let me know what you think. Because honestly, go and watch some Benfica matches. He honestly is the real deal. So, he's my number 1 target out of all of them. I know we're linked to Gonzalo Inacio, who's a left-footed centre-back as well. I think we really, really need to rethink that, that defence. You've got a 35-year-old Johnny Evans. You've got Harry Maguire, who, let's be honest, isn't getting any better. He's kind of stabilised his form, but he's not going to turn into a world-class centre-back, Harry Maguire. He's 30 years old now. I think... you get the most out of him you can this season. Fair play to him. He's really, really shown the mentality he has to find his way back into that team. Harry Maguire's not droppable now. I would say that, I wanted him gone in the summer, but I wouldn't drop Harry Maguire under any circumstances at this point. He starts for me over Varane. He's shown all of the right attitude, all of the right mentality. He's stayed silent and he's broken his way back into the team. And I can't criticise him for that. And I won't criticise him for that. Do I think he should stay for more years after this year? No. But this season, he's the number 1 centre-back for me. And make of that what you will. I think it only bolsters our position in the summer, though, to be able to go to other clubs and say, look, Harry Maguire has had a really good season. At the moment, we're top of the clean sheet chart in the Premier League. We've kept 5 clean sheets with Maguire in the team. He's obviously starts for England. I think you can then go and knock on clubs' doors and they probably would give you the 30 to 35 million that we were asking for. And maybe they'd be more willing to pay his wages. Let me know what you guys think about that one. I'm quite excited about this new centre-back position thing because at the moment we've got the goalkeeper who can play out from the back, right? But we don't really have the defence to be able to complement that. And I think it is a bit of a problem for me. You've got this Onana who is unbelievable at distribution, but we haven't really seen that yet. He still looks a bit concerned, doesn't he, when he has the ball? And that if you've got Harry Maguire in front of you, Lindelof and Johnny Evans, that doesn't really fill you with much confidence if you're a goalkeeper who likes to play out from the back. We've seen it last season, didn't we? Where David De Gea tried to play out from the back and Maguire doesn't turn quick enough and then they get the ball and they score. And I think that's what we're trying to avoid. Malp says we definitely need 2 centre-backs. Yeah, 100%, mate. For me, it's Todibo in January, 30 million, and then what's he called? Antonio Silva in the summer. That's what I would do. Let's see what else people are saying in the chat. Everybody who's just joined, please do smash a like on the video. It really helps to bring more people into the channel. So please do smash a like. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. Somebody says our priority right now is a striker or a centre-back. If we could only get 1 player this January transfer window. Well, we'll talk about the striker in a minute. I think in January we'll get a striker on loan, which we'll talk about in a second. And I think we'll get Jean-Claire Todibo. That will be our business done. Obviously, a loan, we just pay the wages. So that will be fine. Obviously, a transfer will have to pay the fee. So, but I think January will literally just be a centre-back and a striker, which I'd be happy with. I would. I think Kobe Mainoo has proved that he is good enough to play for Manchester United now. And I don't really want us to go and buy another midfielder now, to be honest. I don't. I want to build that team around people like Kobe Mainoo, Garnacho, Højlund, all of these younger players. I mean, even Pellistri, Ahmad, these Martinez, the people who are kind of 25 and under. Those are even Wan-Bissaka, he's only 25 now. Dallo, we have got quite a youthful team there. And I think that we do need to focus around these people who are 25 and under, because we have got quite an aging squad in some areas, but there are enough people in our squad to really, really focus. Let's look for it really, really quickly. So obviously you've got Kobe Mainoo 18, Garnacho 19, Hannibal 20, Højlund 20, Amad Diallo 21, Pellistri 21. Anthony's only 23, so I know everyone's very critical of him, but he could come good. The same with Mason Mount. He's only 24. He could come good. Then you've obviously got Diogo Dalot, Martinez, Rashford. We've got I would say, how many players is that? We've got about 15 players who are all 25 and under. And for me now, I would focus all of my efforts on those people. When you look further down the list, you've got Johnny Evans, 35, Eriksen, 31, Casemiro 31, Rafael Varane 30, Harry Maguire 30. I think it's quite clear to see now which players we need to start thinking about moving on, and we need to make sure that, like Arsenal have done, most of your squad is around 20, and we'll slowly grow and build together. And I think that was how Erik ten Hag will succeed here. I think he does need to have a youthful squad, because I do think he struggles to manage players with egos, the Varanes, the Casemiros, the Ronaldos, the De Geas. These players who have won loads of trophies are on ridiculous wages and probably don't like being spoken down to by a manager that they think is lesser than themselves. Now, should a football player act like that? No, in my opinion. The manager is the manager. It doesn't matter whether you've won 5 Champions Leagues. If the manager tells you to do something, you listen. He's the manager. But obviously, that humans are humans. And I can imagine being, in a dressing room, Erik ten Hag telling Ronaldo off, and he's probably sat there thinking, who are you to tell me off? Or telling off Casemiro, or dropping Varane for Johnny Evans. They're probably thinking, who are you to drop me? I've won 5 Champions Leagues. I've won a World Cup, And I think that we need to maybe start to slowly remove those types of players, slowly, gently, not too drastically, and bring in youthful, more up-and-coming people and try and build a team for the future, because I think that will be the make or break for Erik ten Hag, to be honest with you. Let's see what else people are saying in the chat quickly. Phil says, we've also got Mason Greenwood. Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point, mate. Very, very good point. Yeah, very good point. I hadn't really thought about Mason Greenwood, to be honest. Right, let's see what else we've got. So let's move over to the Werner story, because obviously this is one that I assume has shocked quite a lot of people. So let's bring you up to speed with Timo Werner very, very quickly. And you know what? I'm going to get a poll going for this one, because I think, why not? Let's do a poll. Everybody who's just joined, please smash a like on the video, by the way, whilst I get a poll started. Werner to United. On loan. Okay, cool. The poll is set up. Get involved in the poll, everybody, and I will bring you this story right away. So the headline this morning, coming out again from the same journalist, Florian Plettenberg, who is a Sky Sports journalist, is that Manchester United have inquired about signing Timo Werner. He is on United's list for the January window. Werner is not happy with his situation at Red Bull Leipzig. And from my understanding, it will be a loan. It won't be a permanent deal. It'll be a kind of, for the rest of the season, 6-month loan. I'm probably going to be against most people today, because I think most people are going to say no. But for me personally, I would do it. I would. I know people say, oh, he flopped at Chelsea. Loads of players flop at Chelsea. Loads of players come to Manchester United and flop. Just because it hasn't worked at one club doesn't mean it won't work at another club. Now, the reason why we're hearing about this story is that he hasn't really played very many minutes this season for Red Bull Leipzig. He's played 370 minutes, which is the equivalent of about 4 matches, 4 complete matches. He's got 2 goals in 8 matches in the Bundesliga, which isn't terrible. He's averaging a goal every 102 minutes in the Bundesliga based on how many minutes he's actually played. I think it would be a good deal, to be honest, on loan. I see no reason not to. We're not going to sign Victor Osimhen. We're not going to sign another player. We're not going to sign a £150 million player, right? We're literally looking in the loan market. I mean, the other options are maybe you get Taremi for 10 million. But I don't know. I just think a loan move is sensible. It's a try before you buy. Martial, in all fairness to him, he got a goal the other day and he won us a penalty. So he is now contributing. Yes, he needs to go in the summer, which he will do because his contract expires. But in the short term, obviously Rasmus Højlund, there's question marks over his injuries at the moment, which we will talk about in a minute. We do have an update on the injuries of Rasmus Højlund. But yeah, for me, I think it's 100%. If this deal could genuinely be done and you could bring in Timo Werner for literally half a season, no obligation to buy. I would 100% do it. 100%. Like, I see no reason not to, because we know what Manchester United are like. We're not going to get anyone else. It's either him or Taremi. We're not going to spend 30, 40, 50 million on a striker in January. I think we'll be lucky to get John Claire Todibo and someone like Timo Werner on loan. So I think the question is more of a, it's him or nothing. Do you want him? And for me, it's yes. You know, if it was like, we have enough money to go and buy Victor Osimhen, but they're going to get Timo Werner on loan, I would say, obviously, I don't want to get Timo Werner. But that isn't the situation, is it? The situation is we still do have to work in the financial restraints that we're under because of our ridiculous wage bill. Remember, the reason our financial fair play implications are so bad is because of our wage bill. Arsenal's wage bill is about a third of ours. And that was why they were able to spend 200, 300 million last summer comfortably, because of their wage bill. Now, that's why I'm saying, you know, people like Casemiro, Varane, Maguire, like all of the Sancho's, like once all of these people have gone, our wage bill will come considerably down. But that will probably only happen in maybe late January into the summer. So it's more of a January's more of a stopgap for me. And I know that a lot of fans want, you know, instant success. They want, I don't know, Frankie de Jong, Victor Osimhen, like all of these people to come in. But unfortunately, that's just not the reality that we live in at the moment. We're not Chelsea. We don't have the owners that are going to just pump hundreds and hundreds of millions into the club. Obviously, we did have that option dangled in front of us with Sheikh Jassim. That's now gone. So we have to just be realistic with what we've got at the moment. So for me, it's 100% yes, I would get Timo Werner on loan. But let me know in the comment section, guys. Do you want Timo Werner on loan? If you don't, let me know who you want instead. But just be realistic. We don't have any money to spend. It's a loan. Who are you going to get on loan? Let me know. Somebody says we need 2 centre-backs, one in January and one in the summer. Johnny Evans, Maguire should go in the summer. I agree with you there, mate. Somebody's asking about Evan Toney. Yeah, mate, Evan Toney's going to be 100 million. Arsenal want him. Chelsea want him. 100 million pounds. I mean, just let that sink in for a minute. 100 million pounds for Evan Toney. That will be the kind of money we're looking at. Darren says I'm up for it if it's a loan. Yeah. What else we got? Pig Teat says Werner can play in any of the front three positions. I think he's better than Antony. I would probably agree with you, mate. I think he is better than Antony. I mean, Antony's contributed nothing this season, and Werner has played, I think, the equivalent of 4 matches and has got 2 goals and an assist. So if you're looking at it on a statistics level, he is better than Antony. He's got more goals and assists than Antony has this season. So yeah, I would agree with you there. Ishmael says, what about the guy from Brazil, Marcus Leonardo? Again, mate, he is a good player. He's somebody that Manchester United are looking at. But there are a lot of clubs interested in him. You've got Real Madrid, you've got Roma, you've got Newcastle. There's 3 or 4 different clubs interested in him. Yeah, the only thing with him is I think not Brazil. Who does he play for? My brain's gone numb. He plays for Santos. I think they're not willing to sell him until the summer, so I don't think he's an option in the January window. And he would still cost a transfer fee. He's going to be 20, 30 million euros, you know, he's not going to be free. Whereas Timo Werner, you pay his wages and you don't have to pay a transfer fee. So it's a slightly different scenario. Maybe he's someone we look at in the summer. He's the right profile for me, 20 years of age, obviously banging the goals in over in Brazil. Has just broken. Actually, no, he's not in the Brazilian national team yet, but this season so far, he got 25 goals in 46 games. So he averaged a goal or an assist every other game in the Brazilian league, which is good, I think, for a 20-year-old. He's still got a couple of years left of his contract, though. Let's see what else people are saying in the chat. Yeah, so in short, Marcus Leonardo would be a great option, but I just think we are looking at loans at the moment. And the only people I can see being available for loan are Werner, because he's clearly not playing much for Red Bull Leipzig, and maybe Taremi from Porto, maybe. But at the same time, I think they probably wouldn't do it unless it was a full sale, because, why would they loan out probably their best striker? But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Pig Teat says Ten Hag is about to win the manager of the month. Yes, he is, mate. Yes, he is. So big ups to Eric Ten Hag. Right, let's move over to this story about Ancelotti, because this did catch me by surprise, to be completely honest with you. Now, this story broke in the early hours of this morning, and it's coming from 2 or 3 very reliable Real Madrid sources. Both of them have over 1 million followers on Twitter, and they've been very, very reliable in the past over Real Madrid stuff. And the headline that they're going with this morning is that Carlo Ancelotti has an offer from Manchester United for the manager job. Now, the one thing I want to say, right, before we talk about this is, obviously, we don't know whether this was kind of offered a month or so ago when things were looking bad. it seems a little bit strange timing when we've just won 5 out of the last 6 Premier League games. We've got 3 clean sheets in the Premier League in a row. So the story then goes on to say that Carlo Ancelotti now has an important offer from a team in the Premier League that wants a new top manager for next season. It's a team that wears red, and it's called Manchester United. So that's the headline that they're running with. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section. I'll get another poll going right now. The results of the last poll quickly. 63% of you want Timo Werner on loan, and only 37% of you didn't want him. So I would agree with that. I'm happy with that. Right, so we'll do one more poll before the show ends. Everyone smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Who would you prefer as United manager? Ten Hag. All right, get involved in the poll. For me, I'm going with Ten Hag, 100%. I don't want Carlo Ancelotti. I'm sorry. I don't want him. I don't know why I don't want him. I just don't. I'm happy with Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag should deserve some respect to achieve what he did last season, to achieve what he's doing this season with like a ridiculous injury list. You see all of the mainstream media, all of these pundits who, make out they know more than us, saying Tottenham are this amazing team. They're incredible. They're so good. We love Tottenham. They get 2 injuries. They lose 3 games in a row. And then all of the pundits are like, oh, Tottenham would have won the league if they hadn't have got those injuries. I feel really bad for them. Why are they not talking about Manchester United like that? They're just saying, oh, maybe Erik ten Hag should get sacked. Oh, he's blaming the Glazers. Oh, this, that and the other. None of them are mentioning that literally we're missing pretty much half of our first team for most of this season. Martinez, Luke Shaw, Casemiro, Eriksen, Mason Mount, Højlund came injured, Amrabat came injured, Antony was suspended for allegations, Sancho isn't playing football, Varane was injured and now not playing. Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, literally, I would say that even at this point now, after winning 5 of the last 6 games, we've done that without Casemiro, Martinez, Luke Shaw's only just come back, Mason Mount's now out, Sancho. Like, we're still missing, I would say, 9 or 10 first-team players at the moment. Yet when you spin that on its head over at Tottenham, all of the pundits are like, oh, they would have won the league if it wasn't for Maddison and Van de Ven getting injured. I mean, why do they not give us that type of opinion? Why are they not like, considering Erik ten Hag's missing 10 players, I think he's doing a good job. They won't do that because it doesn't fit the narrative that they want to push. They want to push the narrative of, should Erik ten Hag be sacked? Is he good enough for the job? Oh, he's just an Eredivisie manager. He's not good enough. Blah, blah, blah. That's the narrative they want to push, and I'm just really, really sick of it. So for me, 100% back in Erik ten Hag. Definitely. I do not want another manager. I do not want Erik ten Hag sacked. Even if we were to lose the next 10 games in the row, I would still back Erik ten Hag. And people will say you're crazy, but that's just my opinion. I trust Erik ten Hag. Whatever happens this season, I'm giving him until the end of the season. 100%. 100%. If we were to get top 4 again, I'll give him again till the next season, without a shadow of a doubt. If we don't get top 4, I'd still give him to the end of next season, till next season, because I just think there's such a bigger thing at play here. I think we really, really need to get rid of these older people and bring in some more youth. I think that's what needs to happen, and I think that's what will happen. And as I said, I think in the next 1 to 2 years, we'll see a very youthful Manchester United side, and I think that's when we'll start to build and grow, just like Arsenal did, just like just like Arteta did at Arsenal. He got rid of all of the older players. He built that team around the youth, and look where Arsenal are now. They're top of the table. They nearly won the league last season. They got rid of people like Aubameyang. All of those older players. He literally cleared out 95% of that squad. He promoted from youth and he signed young players. He signed people like Saliba. So yeah, for me, 100% sticking with Erik ten Hag. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Mila says we should buy Guirassy for 17 million. Even if he'll be a flop, he'll be a cheap flop. Yeah, I mean, he looks decent, mate. He's the top goal scorer in the Bundesliga, isn't he? Yes, I like him. Mark says Carlo enjoys the sun. He won't ever return to England. He hates British coffee. Fair enough. Benny says, when is the British media's witch hunt going to stop? Too many of the fan base feeding into it. Mate, I agree with you. It's so frustrating. And I think this is why channels and communities like this and the others are good, because we just wade through the rubbish and we give you opinion, but there's no biased opinion here. We're Manchester United fans, right? The people who talk on Talk Sport and the people on Sky Sports and all the rest of it, they're not Manchester United fans. They're just people whose job it is to cause controversy, to get clicks on videos. You always see on the things, it's like heated debate between Jordan and Simon on Talk Sport. Is Erik ten Hag's suit, does it fit him? All this, it's just rubbish. It's just a narrative that's boring, and I think we need to start seeing through it. I think it's very much aimed at the mainstream, and it's like very dramatic and very like, Erik ten Hag is not good enough, get rid of him. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's just boring, and I don't think they actually really present themselves very well. And it's like, do they watch Manchester United every game? No. Anyway, that's my take on it. Liam says the standard should be no less than 4 years. Back the manager. I would agree with you. I would agree with you 100% there. I'm sick of sacking managers. I'm sick of bringing in new people with new plans. I'm sick of players we've signed not being needed anymore because the new manager doesn't like them. It's just boring. It doesn't excite me. And so for me, 100% Erik ten Hag. And you know what? I'm really, really glad to see this morning that 83% of you who voted in this poll have said that you want Ten Hag as the manager over Carlo Ancelotti. I do not want Carlo Ancelotti anywhere near Manchester United. I don't care whether he's won the Champions League before. I don't care whether he's a better manager, quote unquote, than Erik ten Hag. I mean, he's 20 years older than him? I would imagine that Erik ten Hag will have caught up to Carlo Ancelotti by that point. I mean, he's 64 years of age. Erik ten Hag is how old? Let's have a look. Erik ten Hag is 53. So he's 11 years older than him. Let's have a look. How many trophies has he won? I mean, he's won the Champions League 4 times. He's probably not going to catch up to that, to be fair, Erik ten Hag. He's won the Premier League once with Chelsea, and that was 14 years ago. I mean, to be fair, Carlo Ancelotti has won a lot, so I retract that comment. I don't think Erik ten Hag will catch up to Ancelotti's trophy cabinet. But for me, Ancelotti he's not the man for the United. Let's just leave it at that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section, everybody. I'm going to wrap the video up here. I will, of course, be back this evening, about 6:30 p.m. UK time, as always, around that kind of time. Please do make sure to smash a like before you go. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. As I said, we're on the road to 21,000 subscribers. We're very, very close now, so please do make sure to subscribe. I'll speak to you all later. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely morning, evening, wherever you are in the world. Hope everyone has a great day, and I'll speak later.